with Deku was Springtrap Part 6. And Deku began to sense a soul that was still stuck in Cassidy, or it's like Fredbear's suit. Deku decided to go to her and talk to her about it. Cassidy said, well, you see, it's a little young boy that was killed in the suit as well as mine. Deku says, oh, well, is there any spare suits? Cassidy said, no, he just wants to leave, but I don't know how to make him leave. Deku, thinks with his head, how would I make him leave? So Deku decides to, say, hey, let me see your circuits. Let me see your memory chip. She says, okay. Deku takes out the chip. Now her chip's just empty. Deku takes the chip, puts it in the computer, hooks up some wires to his head, and then he says, enter. And now Deku's with the child that's crying. And Cassie's right there saying, where are we? Well, Deku says, well, we're in the chip. And I'm gonna help this kid make his way to heaven. Cassidy said, if he can try, I tried everything. Deku said, Chris Afton's crying, his balls out, his eyes out. And he's kept crying and crying. He says, where am I? I just want to go home. Deku scooted right up to him and said, it's kind of hard being dead, Chris says, yeah. Deku also says, it's time you should probably let go of everything. Chris says, but my nightmares, Deku said, your nightmares can't follow you to heaven. Because Chris Afton was friends with him, but Chris Afton was like, no, it's not that. It's just, I don't want to leave him here. Because if I go to heaven, they disappear, Deku says. How about this? I'll take care of your nightmares while you go to heaven. Chris Afton says, are you sure? You sure it won't be a burden? Deku says, it's fine. Deku hugged Chris Afton and said, it's okay. He's going to see your family again. Chris Afton suddenly started sprouting wings, turning white. Deku and Chris Afton ascending to heaven. Chris Afton says, Nightmare! Nightmare appears saying, yeah? Nightmare's like, we're going to heaven? So you didn't care about us. And Chris says, no, I give this guy my nightmares to him, so please look after yourselves, please. Nightmare's like, I'll miss you. Chris Afton says, I'll miss you too. See ya. And that's how Chris Afton left this world. And Deku now waking up, suddenly a Nightmare appeared in front of him. Deku says, you must be Nightmare. And Nightmare says, yes, I am. You see, since Chris Afton's no longer here, he transferred his abilities to you so he can own us. Deku's like, no, I don't own you. You have your own personal feelings and everything. Fredbear said, I like you. Because Fredbear just popped out of nowhere and he's like, oh, come on. Dick says, how powerful are you two, Nightmare and Fredbear? Nightmare said, I'm extremely powerful, so is Goldie. Goldie's like, I'm not Goldie. And Nightmare said, fine, Fredbear. And Deku got into the program, and Ketsuya, or Kaylee, Deku pulled out the chip and put it back into Golden Fairy's suit. And then Deku said, there, you shouldn't be a problem anymore, because the suit was right next to Deku, because he brought the suit in the office. Deku was wondering, so, I actually own you guys. Not own you, just I have you, but how, so,
I have more voices in my head. Nightmare says, no, no, no. We can actually become plushies if we want. And you can just carry us around. Deku says, okay. Deku decides to pop out the nightmares, all of them. And Deku said to them, listen, I may not have a place for you, but I think I might have an idea where I can get you guys a home. And all of them saying, where? Freddy Fazbear's Fright. And all of them saying, what's that? Deku says, it's a bit worn down, but if I get it all repaired, you guys can stay there. However, Freddy and Nightmare and Fredbear, and they're saying, yeah. Well, you see, I don't think you can fit through the hallways. And Nightmare's like, oh, what are you implying? Deku says, well, you're big and chunky. And they said, are you calling us fat? Deku's like, no, 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 I'm just saying, could you guys really fit through them? And Nightmare's like, hell yeah. Deku says, okay, I'll take your word on that. Anyway, let us go. Part 6, I might add Deku to the Hero Academia world pretty soon, okay? As Deku decides to call up Henry, like saying, hey Henry, you know what Freddy Fazbear's entertainment center that I told you to fix is repaired? He says, yeah. And he also said, yeah, did you know that there's actually an underground place? Deku says, yeah. And Deku says, yeah. I decided to clear all that out so we could just store some of our equipment down there. And it was like, oh, that's good. That goes and said, I have some animatronics that could probably be perfect for Freddy Fazbear's Fright. And the guy's like, really? Nick says, yeah. As Deku begins to put up a little, takes the Nightmare animatronics to the Freddy Fazbear's Fright. Deku looks at it like all repaired, and Deku's like, oh yeah. Deku told them that this is where they're living now. However, Nightmare said, well, actually, since that's happened, have you ever transformed into Nightmare form? Deku says, I never have, actually. The only time that I've actually never, so I'll try. Nightmare says, very well, I'll just watch. Deku turns to Nightmare Bonnie, Springtrap Nightmare, and Nightmare said, well, at least you got that part down. Let's see how good you are at fighting. Nightmare goes into attack Deku, punches Deku. Deku's eyes begin to grow red, and Deku's grabs Nightmare for his arm and just tosses him to the ground, slamming him. And they're not in the pizzeria; they're just outside. Because I don't want my damn pizzeria to break down. Okay, guys, I am the narrator, and this is me, the narrator, talking in the story. So I swear to God, Deku, if you don't fucking break that pizzeria, it costs me more money to repair it later. And Deku says, alright! And the world's paused by this, because I don't know. Fripper's like, what? Processing. Deku says, don't worry, I'll just pretend. And Fredbear forgets about it after. Not Freddy. They begin clashing. But Nightmare Freddy says, hold up, Deku. Let's teleport somewhere where there's more space. Nightmare teleported them to a forest that's miles away. And that's when Deku and Nightmare Freddy, Nightmare Fist, Deku and Fist collide, creating a shockwave, destroying the ground. As Deku and Nightmare go through another part, another shockwave happens, and all the trees went flying, and almost all the ground was completely solid and cratered. Deku said, this time, boys. As Deku begins to grab Nightmare's arm and toss him through I don't know, a mountain, and everyone in the city hears like just airs and like punches going through everywhere and like saying like, what is that? As Fredbear gets up, he punches Deku and just pins him down. Deku says, I can't hold this form for much longer. Deku decides to use his only trump card. Deku like grabs Golden Freddy's like jaw. He yanks it or dislodges it, and he punches him to the ground. And after that, Deku transforms back. Deku's like, Momo gets up, and Nightmare says, well done. And Nightmare also says, that's your time limit, huh? Deku says, what do you mean time limit? Your time limit is 4 hours and 5 minutes. I've been looking at how much time you had. Deku's like, man, you're really observant. And Nightmare's like, yeah, I know, I'm a genius. And when Deku gets back, Deku looks at the door, and Fredbear goes through it easily, and like Deku's like, okay, I take that back. Your guys are good, so you can stay here. Nightmare's like, yeah. However, I won't be teaching you how to hold that form longer. Deku's like, really? Nightmare says, yes, so be prepared. And that's when Nugo and Freddy, sorry guys, forgot the name instantly. Sorry. I'll keep repeating it in my head, so yeah. Deku went to her, and she says, it feels so nice not to have that. No, she says, it's so strange not having him in my head anymore. He says, what do you mean? She says, well, he's been in my head for years, so it's kind of weird having just silence. Like he says, oh, really? No. Deku leans up to her and just kisses her on the lips, and she's like, what are you doing? Deku's like, calming you down. She's like, it's not calming me down, it's called kissing me. And Deku says, so what? She like blushes at this. And yeah. And for the past like few months, because you know what? Because you know those months, guys? Yeah. I'd say for these months, it's like when Baku was training to go to like his final year was the 3 months of school, like the school that he goes to. As the 3 months go by, Deku's career expands to like being the guy, and Henry having the company. Now Deku has a building where he can hire people to work on the animatronics that he's working on, and he also has his own house. It's a mansion, and that's when Deku decides like, okay, Freddy, and Freddy just walks up like, yeah. I want you to look after the pizzeria. And Freddy's like, okay, why? Because you're most likely not to f up everything. And Freddy's like, okay. And, well, I got you a crew and also the toys to do your work, so yeah. Freddy's like, well, wait, isn't the toys damaged? Dick is like, yeah. The only one I did manage to repair is Toy Chica, so she's operational. Deku repaired during those 3 months, and she said thank you. But she's she's still a bit I don't know. He does work fine, just that she's a bit sad that her friend is going to take longer to repair because the parts for them are pretty old. Not like the animatronics are old, because no, their parts are still pretty fresh, and they don't make them anymore. So Deku has to physically make them by hand for them to work, and Deku's like, Deku proceeds to say, hey, Claire, Elizabeth, and Casey. Yeah, Casey, Casey's like, yeah? And Deku says, well, we're going to the mansion, and I need some help, renovating, and Claire, Elizabeth and Carla and Goldie like, oh, so you want to know where where we're gonna sleep, eh? Dick's like, I don't. And they both said, well, we're sleeping with you. Dick's like, wait, what? And Dick's like, yeah, sleeping with you. Why wouldn't we sleep with our boyfriend? Dick's like, fine. Dick shows them, like, they walk into the mansion. It's right by the Momo estate. And yeah, Decky's company is bigger than UA's, like, manufacturing place. And Deku and the Nightmares are having, like, a lot of fun together, like, having to scare people and not killing them. However, Fredbear almost killed someone, but Decky's, like, stopped him, like, scared the kid to run away. And Fredbear's like, sorry about that, it's just that he reminded me of Chris. He says, oh, right. And then Deku told some of told Nightmare this, and Nightmare said, well, I'll keep a close eye on him then. Deku says, good. And he also told the animatronics to keep an eye on Fredbear. And all of them did. As the days go by, Deku, like, sleeping in a bed with his, like, 3 girlfriends. Deku gets out of the bed, turns into this form that you're looking at. She stretches and just yawns, like... Time to get myself some coffee. Deku goes down to get some coffee. He grabs some, he pours it in. It tastes good. Deku decides to slurp the coffee. And someone rings the doorbell. Deku turns to human form. Deku, like, walks into the door and he just sees this person right there. And it is... Henry! Henry's like, hey, dude. And Deku's like, hey. And Henry had information that Bakugo just got out of UA and now he's training just here. And Deku's like, huh. Interesting. And that's when Deku didn't know about this, but Momo Estate actually had an arrangement to get Deku, I don't know, to date their daughter. Because Deku has more money than Momo has at Rosu's estate. And Deku's like, see. And also Lopet's there. Lopet's not, since she's a security guard, Deku decided to prove it. She got a room of her own. Yeah, she is fully repaired now. Already, it's already said. Lopet, like, teleports there. She, like, saying, hello. Because Lopet has no gender. She can just become a boy or a girl. As she says, oh, what's up, Henry? And Henry's like, yo, what's up, a little bit. And Deku, like, you know, guys, it's too early in the fucking morning for this, right? I just had to please my girlfriends, like, for, like, the past 3 nights with bedtime sparring. And then he's like, oh, so you finally did it. And Deku's like, yeah, why weren't I? And Deku's like, no, they didn't actually do it. They were just, like, sat there, like, snuggling and sleeping and just telling stories. And Deku's like, we didn't do it. Oh, I have you know that, you idiot. I was just fucking with you. And he's like, oh, come on, man. Don't tell me I haven't slapped the booty. Nick's like, shut up about my girlfriends, dude. And he's like, okay, jeez. And he's like, well, I already have some kids. And Nick's like, nice. I'm a grandfather, so what? And Deku decides to get up and let Henry in. And Henry's like, well, I do have some, like, incredible news, but not much bad news, actually. And Deku says, let's bad news first. And he says, well, there have been some occasions where people have been saying that you killed someone. Dick's like, I did, but he kind of was looking at my girlfriend's skirt. And Dick's like, and Henry's like, okay, that guy deserved it. So I'll tell that guy that the guy that he saw kill someone was just someone that looked like you. Looks like, yep. And that's when the guy says some good news. Well, the company's been getting more and more money, but we're like having trouble where to spend it. It's like spend it on something animatronics. We're making. I want a new pizzeria. It's could be called Rock Stars. And he's like, all right, on it. Animatronics. It's like Bonnie, Chica, Freddy, and Foxy. Maybe Goldie. I don't know. But they're a bit more redesigned and more advanced. And Henry's like, oh, I see. So Henry starts building that project. He puts down in his notes, and Decky says, "Hey, could we talk for like a few minutes alone, a little bit." Like, okay. She leaves, or he or she. I don't know her gender. She's like right there, pops up right. Henry's like sitting there with Deku. His uniform's like slurping his coffee. Like, Henry's like, man, you really enjoy coffee. And Dickie says, I know, I love my toast and coffee. So Dickie went, because Lobe went to the kitchen and just dropped off Dickie's toast. He's like, I'm a coffee addict and a toast addict. Okay, leave me alone. He was like, okay. And Henry says, are you gonna be a hero though? And Dickie says, I might consider it. How many years till the entrance exam? A year. He's like, huh. Actually about to turn 17 at that time, so I'd be able to go to the thing or whatever. I don't even know my age anymore, dude, because I just act like a grown up these days. And Henry's like, yeah, it's kind of bizarre that you became this like freaking powerful because you're in your old mansion, you pay the bills like it's nothing, and Deku says to Henry, well, it's gotta suck. You know what sucks to the company? And he's like, what? I'm immortal, so I can just run it for like all eternity. And he's like, oh yeah, I just remember that. You're so lucky, you're damn immortal. Why? I just age. And Dick's like, okay, whatever, man. And Dick decides to like sign out for hero practice exam. He signs it. He just aces it on the papers, and the physical is once in a year. So Dick decides to be training with Nightmare. And also the girl, Caretaker's girlfriend, want to train with him. He said, fine. And in those 1 years, like you got a little bit more closer and a bit more, bless you, like flustered towards them. Not this Nightmare, because Nightmare's like, not that guy. But anyway, after that year, Deku decides to go to the entrance exam. He walks through the doorway. But then, and he accidentally, Uraraka trips, and Deku, like, grabs her. And Deku's like, oh, thank you. And Deku's like, no problem. But Deku's not in human form. Deku is in his, like, human slash, he has a bunny ears, but his face and his eyes are, like, kind of, like, black and white, like the ones you see here. And she's like, what kind of eyes are those? Uraraka's saying in red. And those ears look like they're all worn down. Is this quirk a cybernetic quirk? Alright, and Uraraka's like, Dick's like, oh man, if only you actually knew that this is my physical appearance. Dick starts to walk in, he sees Ida and Baku like talking back to each other, and she just says, shut up. And then, yeah, all of them shut up in that prison mic, and my prison mic, thank you, you earned another point for that. Dick's like, I don't care for points. I'm here just to pass. And President Mike says, okay then, 5 points. Doug was like, okay, weird. President Mike explains that their 0-pointers are blah 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 blah. Anyway, to the thing. Sorry about my voice, just that I am just drinking coffee today. As Elizabeth, Carla, and Casey had to go somewhere else for the practical exam, because Deku decided to say, Well, if we're gonna be heroes together, then... And also a little bit was there for no reason. She just wanted to come to be a hero. Like I said, a little bit. Lobit's with Deku right now, so yeah. Deku says to Lobit, like, hey, you know it's gonna be fine. We're gonna win this. And yeah. Lobit's like, okay, if you say so. As Deku sees Uraraka, like, being very, really nervous, Deku decides to go up to her and says, hey, just calm down. Just try to be yourself when you're doing this. And you pass, okay? Okay, Uraraka's like, huh, you make it sound like you've done this before. Deku's like, I have not, but I'm just chill. And Ida like comes up, are you disturbing this young lady? Or, ma'am, do you need help getting away from this pervert? Deku's like, Ida, you better shut your mouth before I break your damn jaw. Ida like shuts up, and Uraraka's like, damn. And anyway, Uraraka says, no, Ida, he's just making me like feel comfortable that about the practical exam because I'm a bit nervous. He was like, oh, sorry. I'll walk away. Eat does a dad like eat, eat while running away. Becky says, well, see ya in exam. Okay, 3, 2, well, there's no real countdown on fight, go! Deku side, Ito's like running away. Deku like decides to turn his legs bit of nightmare in human form, so he's like insanely fast. You know, he's not fast. He's like, he has super, and like, his super strength, no, super strength is times by 100, times by 100, times by 100, times by 100, times by 100. But each form he takes increases his strength limit. It's like timesing his power. I really want to do this video. Okay, guys, tell me if you want to do this. Do you want me to do this? Deku is quirkless. So started when Elizabeth started training him. And that's when Elizabeth knows that he sensed like Jonathan Joestar's presence. She realized that this must be fate. Jonathan Joestar's reincarnation is Deku. Deku Joestar. Or Jonathan Joestar. You guys come up with the name. I don't really care. I just want a name for this guy. As Deku proceeds to like destroy 0-pointers, Deku's like racking up points by points by points. And as the points keep racking up, Deku says, I got 500, so I'm fine. Deku sees Sora like walk away, but he hears Uraraka and getting almost crushed. Deku decides to like run to her, slide underneath the ground, transform his left arm to his nightmare form, grabs his 0-pointers, like tosses it into the air, and Deku like jumps up and slashes it with his like fingers. And also gets back down. He gets the rubble off Uraraka. And Uraraka kind of seeing like the hand. She's like kind of freaked out, but the hand turns back to normal. But the UA teachers didn't see the hand, so what kind of quirk is that? All of them are like saying like, I don't know. Anyway, Deku takes Uraraka to Recovery Girl. Recovery Girl says, "Oh, she's really, really hurt. So I'll just fix her with my smooches." And that's yeah. Anyway, guys, that's when a little bit kind of like saw Deku's like pure strength and joy, and a little bit decided to teleport Deku, floating right on top of him, and give him a kiss like that Spider-Man scene with Spider-Man standing up from the top, or Peter Parker's girlfriend's kissing him from the top. And that's when the two of them kiss each other. Deku's like, "What are you doing, a little bit?" Obo's like saying, "Oh, I'm sorry. I just like your pure strength." Gives him the tongue and just bleh. Deku like says, "Oh, you son of a bitch! Yeah, I'm gonna fucking make sure you gotta be fucking scrapped later on, but I don't fucking care." And yeah, Deku decides to like walk away. As Deku's walking away, Deku's like says, goes back to his house and sleeps for a few days. Bakugo thought he like got all the points, but Deku's better than him. Fuck Bakugo. Anyway, as we'll be leaving off. How much time is this? 30 seconds. So, sorry guys, this will be the end of the video. I'll talk to you all later.